Hi guys, today I'm going to do a tutorial on the S+ propagator from the Structures Plus mod and a few others, just to show you how we do our breeding on our servers. And today we're going to be doing the shadow mains. I will just focus on two stats today just to make it quicker. But if you did want to do all the rest of the stats, you just follow the same procedure. Now, first of all, keep in mind on this server, on most of our servers actually, we exponentially boost the breeding rates, so it's much faster. Yours may be a little slower or the same. Regardless, the procedure is exactly the same. So first of all, you want to start off with these two dinos. Got these two shadow mains, completely different levels, completely different stats, as you can see. And the mods we're going to be using are the obvious, the S+ propagator from the Structures Plus mod, the best egg maker, and the dino storage v2. Now let's jump in to the breeding. So we want our two dinos. First of all, we want to make our life easier, so we're going to want some dinos with the same level and the same stats. To do this, we're going to use the best egg maker, and as the shadow mains are normally gestation, we're going to go ahead and change that to egg by holding the E key on the best egg maker, come into this option here and enable gestation eggs. And as you can see, this is active, represented by the black egg above the female. Now if we go ahead and turn them on to breeding and get a few eggs, there we go. And then you need to pop these eggs into the best egg maker, as so. Now what you're looking for here is this number here, 201. Hopefully they'll all come out the same, unless they get a mutation, which we do not want at this stage. As you can see, I'm clicking on the egg, and this one at the minute would come out if I hatched it now at level 98 with these stats on the left hand side. Now if we was to click the best egg maker, it'll make it 201, as you can see. Now all the stats are the same. Now another thing, we're going to go ahead and change the gender of some eggs. We want one male, which we have there. With these two here, you can tell that's a male. Now this one's a male also, so if we go ahead and change this to a female by clicking the female symbol and then make best egg. Now we have 3 females, 1 male. Go ahead and hatch these. This is ready. As you can tell by this bar here, the yellow bar has been depleted, meaning it's ready to hatch. The green bar represents the health of the egg. Go ahead and throw them out using the O key. As you can see, they've disappeared, as we have our dino storage v2 terminal set to newborn auto trap. To activate that, you go into the options, newborn auto trap, and enable this toggle here, then go ahead and X out. Now we've got 4 females, 1 male, all the same level, all the same stats. Go ahead and take those out. As you can see here, they've got a dummy symbol representing a baby. We need to remove that as they're fully grown. So we're going to go ahead and throw them out. And then pod them back up. Now, the propagator. Go ahead, pop your dinos inside here. Again, we have changed our INI configs So this is free and fast. If you need to know the config codes, just let me know and I can do a little tutorial on this. We've also got this set to free. Normally costs element to use. On our server it's free. So we're going to go ahead and prepare dinos for breeding. Start breeding. And here, if for say you had 4 males and 1 female, or all males, you could then go ahead and change the gender in here. But for simple sake, we used 4 females, 1 male. Now this represents that they can breed. If this is not ticked, go ahead and click this. On this column is our mutations and how many mutations we want to receive. Now again, our ionize have been changed. I think the maximum is normally 2. Not 100% sure on that. We have ours set to 100. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind here. In Arc, you do not want your stat points to exceed 254 points into any one stat. That's because Arc has a cap of 255. If we was to reach 255 in any stat, we would then not be able to level that stat manually via experience. So the maximum number we want to breed up to is 254. That's 254 points in each stat. If we wanted all stats. Today we're just going to focus on health and damage. Now another thing is 1 mutation will give you 2 stat points. That's 1 mutation gives you 2 stat points, so it doubles from your mutation to the stat points. As said before, we do not want to reach 255 points, we want 254. As I said, the maximum number we can do in one pulse is 100 mutations, which will give us 200 stat points into any one stat per egg. And if we look at the stats here, even with 200 points, no stat could actually reach 254 in one breeding session. So we're safe here now to go ahead and put 100 mutations in here in these boxes. And go ahead and click start breeding. Seem to have something in our cave here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this while we wait. And now they're mating. These are now no good to us, so we can go ahead and get rid of those. We're actually going to destroy those 2. And another thing to keep in mind, if you want your auto trap set up, you will need soul balls in your terminal, or soul traps. Now we've got some eggs. As you know, we typed in a value of 100 in the mutations. So as you can see here, represented by the green number, we've got our mutation there in stamina, and it's given us 200 points. 1 in melee there, damage, 200 points. And 1 in health. And then the oxygen. And another one thing to keep in mind, movement speed. Do not mutate movement speed, as it's just wasted points. The only reason you'd ever want to increase your movement speed via mutations is to increase your torpor on your dino, as that's represented by the level. As you can see, every single egg has got 200 points in the mutation. Now, as these eggs are male for the health and the damage, makes it a little bit different, but it's fine. Go ahead, take those two out, as those two are the stats we're going to be mutating today, and stop breeding. Now you can take the eggs and pop them in the best egg maker and wait for them to incubate. As we know the male, we're going to need a female. Go ahead, take one out. Pop that there. Now the rest are going to be no good to us for now. But what we want to do is go ahead and save these dinos for later. Now, again, waiting for the yellow bar to deplete. And there we go. Go ahead, throw them out. There's a newborn auto trap is set. There are new dinos with a mutation in melee and one in health. Now, go ahead, throw them both out. And at this point, we want an egg from each. As you see, those eggs disappeared as we've got best egg maker onto auto pickup. I'm just impatient. As you can see here, we've got our melee mutation, a female, and our health mutation is a male. So we want to keep these two eggs and wait for the incubation bar again. Now we have those, we can go ahead and get rid of these. Again, save them for later. And there we go. Now we have our male and a female with our mutations. Just waiting for them to raise. Again, we have our Dino Storage V2 set to raise and imprint. As you can see, fully imprinted. Now, again, make sure the best egg symbol's on. Then we're going to go ahead, get a few eggs, just like we did at the start. There we go. Pop them in the best egg again. There we go. Make sure there's no new mutations. And we're going to go ahead and make them best egg. If there is a mutation, it will be a different number here. But there is another way to see it, as it will glow orange. Then again, we want one male, the rest female. Female, male, female, female, and female. Now what we're waiting for again is the yellow bar. Go ahead, throw them out. as we're waiting for them to raise. Go ahead and get rid of the ones we've just used. Throw these guys out to get rid of the dummy symbol. And then pod them back up, just like we did at the start. Now same again, pop them in the propagator. Now this is where it differs a little bit, because as stated a few times before, we only want to reach 254, but as it goes up in increments of 2, sometimes we just reach 253. Like on this one, we know we need 32 points to reach 255, which we wouldn't want to do that, so we'd only be able to reach 253 and not 254. So we'd need a total of 30 mutations in health. That's 30 mutations in health, so we'll go ahead and do health first. So again, prepare your dinos, start breeding. We've worked it out, we need 30 mutations again. So we'd half that. We want 15. As stated before, one mutation is 2 stat points. We want 30 stat points, so we half that number. 15 mutations. Go ahead and start breeding. And as you can see, the damage, if we get now a mutation in damage, because we're going to get 30 points, that will cap out at 255 and render that dino useless. There is a quick sum if you don't like doing math. If you pull out your calculator, quick little formula. What you're going to want to do is, in your calculator, this is to work the damage stat out, you would go ahead and write 254 minus then the number of the stat you want, as at the minute we have it 227, so 254 minus 227, which gives us 27, and then you can go ahead and divide that by 2, gives you 13.5. Now you'd always round it off to the smaller number, so we know we'd want 13 mutations into the health. I hope that's quite simple. Now we'll go ahead and look here, see if we've got a egg in health, which we do, quite lucky. As you can see there, that egg will come out at 253 on health. So we have our health, and we want to go ahead and stop the breeding. As we've just worked out what we had before, we want 13 mutations in the damage stat. Go ahead, change this to 13 in each of the columns for the females, and start breeding. Now go ahead, pop your egg you've just got in the health mutation into the best egg while you wait. Now we're just going to wait for the new eggs with the new stats we've typed in. Let's go ahead and throw this one out. And we got lucky again. There we go. So our damage now would be 253, which is the maximum we could go. Then we could stop the breeding. Same process. Put the egg in the best egg. As this best egg is obviously an incubator as well. And throw it out. Now we have our 253 points into health and 253 points into damage. Don't drop them on the floor. Go ahead and throw them out. Same as before. Get a couple of eggs now. As you can see, the best egg symbol must not have been on in time, you didn't check, so now it's turned into a gestation. To cancel that, you can just go ahead and pop it back in a pod, which will terminate the gestation. If you're impatient like me, you don't have to wait for it to automatically find it. You can disable and then re-enable, and it'll come straight on. Go ahead and cancel. Now what we have here, hopefully we're looking for the health and the damage. We're going to go ahead and make best egg. We're making sure there's no new mutations. And they're all best egg. We don't have a male, so we're going to go ahead and make this one a male. There you go. And then throw the dinos out. Just waiting for them to raise. You can pod these up. They're now no good to us, so we can go ahead and get rid of those two. Now what we're left with is our dinos, all the same level, all the same stats. $253 points, so they're maxed out in health and damage. And if you, like I said before, if you wanted to do this in each of the stats, you could go ahead and do the same procedure for the different stats. It doesn't take much longer at all, to be honest. And there you go, you have, it is that simple really, and that fast. I hope you guys learned something, I really do. Even if one person learned something, it wasn't a waste of time in this video. But yeah, just thanks for watching guys, and if you want a video on colours, I'm going to do that next. How to breed for the colours. So that'll be the next video coming if you're interested in that. If you're not, if you're just here for the stats, thanks for watching. Again, I hope you learned something. Have a good day guys, thank you.